Hello, my name is Sydney Pepper. Tonight I'll be talking about my views of the child welfare system here in Butte County, particularly the problems I've seen and experienced with it. So I'll start with some statistics. So in the U.S. right now, there are 463,000 children in the foster care system. And California has the largest population of foster care youth. The number has tripled. 463,000 has tripled in the past 20 years, which has been blamed on mainly substance abuse and methamphetamines, particularly in the past 20 years. So 65% of foster care children will age out of the system or emancipate out of the system without a place to live or without a support system. So that basically means that the ages changed from 18 to 21 recently, but basically now at 21, if you age out of the system and you don't have anywhere to go, you're on your own. So you go from whatever experiences you've had previously in foster care, maybe no training on how to live on your own or anything like that, to just you're out on your own, figure it out. So that alone results in 30% of the U.S.'s homeless population were previously in foster care. So 51% of previous foster children are unemployed, and less than 3% attend college. I think that a huge problem, and particularly that I've seen in Butte County, is that there aren't enough foster homes or foster families for the demand of children that are going into the system. And I know that I know that there needs to be more, and I don't know how to go about making more people want to be foster parents, but I also realize that in the commercials and the ads that you see on TV or on the radio, you hear you don't have to be perfect, or they're not looking for perfect, they need you, or they just need love and that kind of thing, which is definitely true in some scenarios. Sometimes a child just needs somewhere to be that's stable. But with that being said, I also think that a lot of foster parents aren't qualified for what they're doing. I think that there needs to be at least some more extensive training or a better certification process, like within the home, like searching the home and that kind of thing, because I've experienced foster homes where these parents were taking in children with really high needs and special needs and having no idea what they were doing or how to go about disciplining these children or helping these children or anything like that, because they hadn't had the training. And when they reach out to programs like through schools, there's often a waiting list that can take months until the child is even looked at that point. So I think that needs to be dealt with somehow. And another huge problem, and obviously a disgusting problem, is abusive foster homes. I just think it's, again, part of being qualified, or the qualification process for being a foster parent. I don't know how these people are able to take in these kids a lot of times just for money. I'm not saying that all foster homes are just in it for the money, because I was adopted by one of my foster homes and they're my family and I love them, but I just don't understand how people can get away with abusing these children, and especially after what a lot of these kids have already been through. So, on to my next point. Another problem I see is the amount of children assigned to caseworkers or their social workers. There's a huge turnover rate here in California. The annual turnover rate in California for the child welfare workforce is more than 70%, because caseworkers have too much on their plate, too many kids, and they get burnt out and they leave their job prematurely. The recommended number of cases for a worker is 17. So that alone, the recommended number is a huge amount of cases to take on for one person. But in California, the number is 3 or 4 times that number. So obviously these people, like, actually just don't have the power or the means or resources to help all of these kids that they're assigned. So those are some of the problems that I've seen and experienced in the foster care system. I really think that there needs to be more focus, either from the government or through private organizations or something about this, because taking children that have been abused or neglected and putting them into homes where they aren't getting the help that they need or the resources that they need is clearly not going to result in them being an outstanding citizen or helping the community or anything in that sort of way. So thank you for listening, and have a nice night.